Shalom. I like to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops, CT bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim, preaching his word with truth and sincerity around the four corners. You know, like Elder Malcolm will be saying, risking their lives and freedom to do so, now more so than ever, because we are in some perilous times. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners, the Israelites that live amongst the heathen, that look like the heathen. You know, this is not a black or white thing. This is an Israelite thing. So Israelites going to come looking like all nations that they were scattered unto. And shalom to the Akim and the few Aqua, the true believers of the hopeful elect. You know, just coming back in the spirit and theme of prophecy. And in this lesson, I wanted to speak about, it just recently happened. I believe it was just like a few hours, like 12, 13 hours ago, maybe even less than that. That shooting that happened in Grand Black, I believe it was Michigan, the state of Michigan. You know, ever since that false accusation, that false prophet, what was his name? Brother Joshua said that Jesus spoke to him directly and said that there was going to be a rapture the 23rd or the 24th or the 25th. Ever since that happened, you know, Christians have been losing, and ever since that took place, rather, and the rapture didn't happen like we all in the truth know that it wouldn't, you know. Ever since that happened, you know, wacky-tacky Christians have been losing faith, or whatever little faith that they had. Even though we know that they didn't have the true faith because they don't believe in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. So I'm going to read the article, hit a couple of precepts. The Lord's willing, this will be edifying, straight, and for quick, fast, and to the point. Like the elder bro, Amwan Gabar be saying, you know. All right, this is from NPR. I believe NPR stands for National People Radio. And it says, attack at Mormon church in Michigan leaves at least one deleted and 9 injured. And from what I understand, there's even more than that. I believe there's like 3 people have been deleted. I seen in another article. So, you know, you can't believe the U.S. media because, you know, they fabricate numbers, trying to make it look good, trying to make it look as clean as possible. And right now, this is a big stain on Christianity. You know, people running up in the churches, deleting people. I believe this is an Edomite church. Because from what I've seen from other brothers' videos, they got the visual on it. There was some Edomites giving testimony. There was some Edomites giving testifying testimony. You know, this just proves that the Most High is not in them churches, man. You know, it tells you that in the scriptures. Let's read a little bit of this. It says, at least 1 person was deleted and 9 were injured when a gunman attacked a church of Yahweh, of JC. Oh, hold on, let me cross the street. Yeah, of JC of Latter-day Saints service in Michigan on Sunday morning, police said. The shooter was deleted by police. It says authorities say the 40-year-old male suspect rammed his vehicle through the front doors of the church in Grand Black Township, about 60 miles northwest of Detroit. before exiting and opening fire with an assault rifle on the hundreds of worshipers inside. You see? This is exactly why the apostles, starting with the apostles and elders, bishops, been saying that that Christianity is bullshit. Because when Christians don't have answers, or when their faith gets tested, they don't trust in the process. For number one, they don't read their Bibles. All they do is sing and dance. You know, coming from I could speak for myself. Coming from the background of the Jehovah's Witness, they read their Bibles, but they believe in a white Messiah, and that's going totally off. Ain't no white person, ain't no white man about to crack them clouds and come save anybody. How's your oppressor gonna come and save you? That's that bullshit. When you do more research, you come to find out that all of these man-made religions were made by Edomite men, you know, and they all stem from the Roman Catholic Church. And you know the Romans were Edomites. But I believe it goes back to Constantine, which was a Jake. It shows you that Jacob is the creator of all things. But I gotta do more. I gotta read my notes on that, if I'm not mistaken. During the Byzantine Empire, they created. During the Dark Ages. They were ruling. The Jake was ruling, and they created what was known as the Holy Roman Empire. That's why Esau calls it the Dark Ages, because he doesn't want nobody to know that he was in subjection to the so-called black man. You know. It says, Grand Black Township Police Chief William Renier said investigators believe the suspect also deliberately set fire to the church, which appeared engulfed in flames in photos and videos shared on social media. Yeah, so not only did he run up in the church spraying shit, spraying people, he also set it ablaze. You gotta ask yourself if Jesus Christ was really the name of our Lord, would he be acting like that in those days? When you read about him in the scriptures, did he act like that in those days? You know, when you read when he was on the scene over 2,000 years ago, did he act like that? Of course not. These false preachers and false pastors, false teachers, they preach that madness. That his name is JC, when the letter J wasn't even invented until 1524. Good morning. You know? Says Renier said early Sunday afternoon that authorities expect to find additional victims in the church who are unable to escape due to the fire. All right, well, that's enough on that. Let me get a couple of precepts. First precept I'm gonna get is I believe it's in the book of Acts, chapter 7, verse, I believe it's 48, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, here it is. It says, this is Acts 7:48, and it reads, "Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Heaven is my earth, and heaven is my throne, Salakia. Heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord? Or what is the place of my rest?" You see? So the Most High doesn't dwell in temples made with hands. So all of these mosques, all of these churches, all of these synagogues, they're false places of worship. You know? Yeah, they're false places of worship. And when Yahweh Shai returns, they're going to get casted down. You know? Let me get this in the book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 and 16. It says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." Yeah, and evil is a compound word, eve meaning time and ill meaning bad. So you got to redeem the time, because the days are there's some bad times coming ahead, man. The people crashing out when their faith gets tested, or get shown that what they believe in is bullshit. You know? Where, like I said before in my other lessons, we're in the time of prophecy, we're in the time of judgment. So, that's where we're at right now. It's the book of Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5, and it reads, "The just Lord is in the midst thereof, he will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light, he faileth not. But the unjust knoweth no shame." You see? The unjust knoweth no shame. Every morning the Heavenly Father brings his judgment to light. And this is a prime example. This happened yesterday. I caught it when it was fresh off the press, like 45 minutes. But I couldn't even do a lesson because I was busy handling some other business. So I'm just trying to strike while I got time, you know? Lord's will, I'll come back and do another lesson on another topic. Maybe dealing with World War III, WW3, you know? Yeah. Let me get some from the Apocrypha. Let me get a couple more from the Apocrypha. Matter of fact, let me get this. This is the book of 2 Ezra chapter 8 verse 50. And it reads, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." Yeah, many great miseries going to befall you people. Why? Because you've walked in great pride. I just not too long ago was watching videos earlier this morning, and I was watching Holy Bible Defenders That's the name of the elder out there in Baltimore. That's his YouTube page. And he put up there that a wacky tacky Christian from the 2819 church. I believe that's Philip Anthony Mitchell's church. You know, that guy is a demon preaching in Jordans. But he's a false prophet. All these false prophets are getting exposed. And the sad thing about it, majority of our people are still going to follow them and support them until they get confounded in their teachings, until they get confounded in their belief system, and then they get shown that they're nothing but liars. Then they're going to try to come to GMS, and come to the Hebrew Israelites, and by that time it's most likely going to be too late. You know, the doors of mercy are still open, but they're closing as the days go by. This 2nd Ezra 14:16 says, "For yet greater evil than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein." You see? So this is only the tip of the iceberg. You can expect to see more people running in churches, you know, picking off the people that's in the church and setting it ablaze. Why? Because you see that they see that what they believed in was a lie, and you can expect more and more of this, you know. But that's all I got. Lord's will, this is edifying. And until next time, we're going to say shalom to the elect. And if you're in one, and if this applies to you and you're in one of those harlot houses, you know, get out while you still can, you know. Or not. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The elect are going to get sealed and delivered either way. So shalom.